So Kasim has
Welcome to the pod, everybody.
Kasim has had a hard, long day, Jamie-Lynn. So we're gonna let him. You want to pick which?
Don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm here. This is the best part of my day.
I know you're here. I'm just saying you've had a long day.
It's been such a long day. You know what it is? It's this LA traffic. Has anyone ever talked about traffic?
Not in LA.
Los Angeles?
No.
Oh my God.
Well, it's been a while. It's fully back, huh?
It's 100% back. And then not only that, this is some real like 1%er stuff here, but I have to work in Burbank and it's been like 100 degrees every day. And when you park your Porsche 911 Turbo S and a black 911 Turbo S, and that's been sitting in the heat for 8 hours, and you get in, everything's too hot to the touch. I'm getting burnt left and right.
You need one of those things to put in your windshield.
Oh, I would rather die than be one of the guys that puts those sunglass reflector things up over.
You should get one that says pajama pants across the front.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. How about $1 billion idea? How is there not just a thing where it's like you push a button and that just covers the windshield?
Like Batman has that shit.
Yeah. How do we not like Shark Tank? Well, let's go.
How does a Porsche 911 Turbo Speedster race car best thing ever have one?
Jamie,
yeah,
you were so close.
It's a 911 Turbo Sportster, right?
No,
it's not a Sportster.
Just the S.
911 Turbo S.
Yeah, please. Don't.
Yeah. Oh, the best is when like we get off the highway and he pushes one of buttons and like a flap goes down and he thinks like he's like, oh, I had to turn off the the hydroplaning.
I retract the spoiler when we come off the freeway is what he's talking about.
But if that's what makes you a fucking great driver, that's what you got to do because he's great.
I'm cultivating an experience.
Yeah.
The different things that people care about. You know what I mean? Like that's just not on my radar.
I care about people too.
I know you do.
So what I was saying is normally I ask Jamie if she wants to choose, but I feel like you've had a hard day. I should ask you if
let me choose something.
All right. So here's a couple things we got. I have a question about fast food. I have a question about cleaning ladies. I have a question about teachers. I have something disgusting I saw while food shopping. A question about therapy.
I want to know what you saw food shopping.
And I have a 90-day fiance thing because we haven't done that in a while. Listen, I don't know if there's a worse look on a guy. If there is, Jamie, you have to tell us, than a rat tail. Like when a guy has
like a braided thing.
Yeah. Or just like you. Okay. So you have your hair in the back and then it literally, this guy, what it looked like to me was he had like a dirty shoelace coming off the back of his head and just like halfway down his back.
It's a terrible look.
It is so, what is this guy?
The face Jamie made.
And appropriate.
It is.
It's so
terrible.
Disgusting. And it's like, it's also so
was
like
it on a hipster guy?
One in a Milski, like there's nobody doing that. And it's like, it's just something you don't see. I don't know. Maybe like if you're at NASCAR, you see that like that might be a NASCAR thing.
Talk to me about where you were.
I was food shop. What do you mean?
This wasn't like, was it
Air
an Air? Was this an Air One?
Come on. Are you crazy? They wouldn't let that guy in.
Well, it lets me know
it says you have to wear a mask and not have a rat tail outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some like hipster guys pulling some of this stuff.
No. But I'm not talking about a mullet.
No, not even a mullet, but like, like one of these Jedi side rat tails that come.
Oh my God.
Like an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, this guy was like trailer trash Kenobes. It was just one little thing right in the middle. And it's like, and you know what the problem is with it too? Like, it doesn't look manly. It doesn't look like sturdy, like the mullet, you look like, all right, this guy's, there's like a sturdiness to it. This fucking.
You could cut it off with toenail clippers.
Yeah. You could just walk by and then go. That thing just laying on the floor. Oh my God.
Yo, am I the only one that uses toenail clippers to cut off the like price tags off new shirts and shit? The little plastic piece?
I don't do that.
Never have.
I don't do that. I use cuticle scissors.
Listen to this. Oh, okay. See, I don't have cuticle scissors.
So they're so sharp. They're the best.
My teeth.
You have clothes, you bring them home. They're in a bag. You bring your clothes to your room because that's where you put them, right? But then you go, oh, I got to take these tags off. The scissors are all the way in the kitchen drawer. I go to my master bath. I get the toenail clippers and I just.
I could see that. You mean on the thin little plastic thing?
The plastic bits.
Got it.
And but first you got to get your hand underneath where the other side of the plastic is just
Yeah.
What you don't want is to randomly put on that shirt and get stabbed by the rogue piece that you left.
Yeah. Or just find them on the floor around.
Could you date a girl that
No.
didn't worry about the other half of that plastic? That she just cut one side?
Yeah, if she's hot enough, I don't give a fuck about that piece of plastic.
What happened to your standards?
I'll sweep up weekly. Listen.
Well, look, fuck that guy, and I'm sorry you had to even look at such an ugly.
So sorry.
It's a good thing I don't go food shopping hungry because I would have been upset at that guy for ruining my appetite. I always eat and then go food shopping. It's a smart move. Otherwise, you just buy a bunch of shit. You're like, I do need chocolate chip cookies.
That is the move. That is the move.
All right. What do we? Okay, Jamie-Lynn. If you were going to start a fast food restaurant that had only one item, like or one food, what would it be?
But it's got to be fast food.
French fries, yeah. Or no, whatever. Like it's your plate, but it's like a hey, here you go to go. Like it's not going to be like.
I think my like little cute spin on it would be like the French fries, but there's like so many different dipping sauces you can pick to go with it.
Okay.
What is your
number one? Am I onto something?
You're onto something.
You're onto something that exists.
Like we've got ketchup, honey mutt barbecue. What's up, Jamie? Yo, Jamie, what's up?
We're fucking ready for Shark Tank this app, yo.
I will make my own like special secret sauce, you know?
Also exists.
Mine doesn't maybe yet.
That's true.
Yo, are you like thinking of Chick-fil-A sauce?
Would you call it special sauce?
You thinking of like spread from In-N-Out?
Lemony aioli type thing.
Yeah.
Don't give away your secrets.
You know what I would love? What I would really like for you to do is figure out a place for the dipping sauces to like rest.
Like a cone?
No, for sure. It's going to be the cutest little package with like.
Yeah.
This is why we love
how you agreed so hard. You agreed with me so hard right there.
We love Jamie-Lynn.
I want
so much.
I think Burger King did this shit where they had those chicken fries or whatever they had. And then there was a place for your dipping sauce to rest.
Mm-hmm.
But if we incorporate Jamie's like multiple sauces thing, maybe there could be like one on each side.
I was thinking like 4.
Oh yeah.
In the front.
For
two
sure.
Fries. Cute little carrying case.
You're really making up for all that Sbarro shit from last week.
Dude, you know, I actually thought
of you get dragged? What happened?
No, I got like Team Sbarro hashtag, you know, like I took Bo to a diner yesterday and gave him my old order. He's like, what do I get? There's so many things. I was like, do you want to know what mommy got whenever I went to a diner as a kid? He's like, yeah. I was like, mozzarella sticks. He's like, what's that? I'm like, okay, bad mom that you're almost 8 and don't know that. So we're going to have mozzarella sticks and a hamburger and fries. And he was like, this was the greatest meal of my life. And I passed my tradition down to Long Island diners and I ate the same thing. And it was amazing.
That's great.
Great story, right?
Those are those little mom
No,
moments.
I actually I love hearing diner shit. I love. But
diners, so New York.
Here's what I like. People were saying on our Reddit has been amazing. But what these people were saying were like, oh I can't believe Rob likes Sbarros. No, the whole point of the thing was I think Sbarros is disgusting.
That's right.
Jamie-Lynn likes Sbarros.
I like it.
I think what I said was like, I've never looked at you, you know, the way I said something like, you've never said anything that, I was so, I couldn't like, Sbarros is so
disappointed.
Gross.
By the way, I'm not saying that it's better than other like pizzas.
You don't have to,
I like
you don't
it.
have to apologize.
Stand your ground.
All right. But I like it. Whatever, man.
Cass, you're opening a restaurant.
For sure. I've actually been thinking about this for years.
Nice.
Really?
Me and my friends used to love going to a local Mongolian barbecue restaurant. Do you have Mongolian there? You get a guy.
No.
It's a flat grill.
Do you want to wait for her answer?
She said, yeah.
She said no.
I said no.
But she said no. You were like, you got Mongolian there? What we would do.
Doesn't matter what she says. Flat grill.
Clearly.
It was what do you call those questions? Not hypothetical. It was
rhetorical.
It was a rhetorical question.
I don't think we can say that anymore. Flat grill, guy cooking with 2 sticks. Okay, bunch of noodles, 2 sticks.
Sticks. Nothing at the end of the sticks.
They just do.
Oh yes.
They just do this. Okay.
Okay.
And I love noodles, right? But Mongolians, because it's savory and they have like hot beef and like it's salty and it's like you can put all this fucking vegetables and the trick with Mongolian barbecue restaurants is because they usually give you a bowl and then you pack your own shit in it. You pack your like what kind of meats, your beefs, your chickens, I usually do a lot of broccoli and mushrooms, and then you hand it to the gentleman who's on top of the grill with the sticks. He goes, turns it over and just fucks like, mixes it all together. And then in 5 minutes, you have a hot thing of Mongolian. At this particular place we used to go to, they would give you a little pita pocket thing, like phyllo dough. We would crack it open and we'd put Mongolian inside of this pocket, squirt some sriracha sauce on it. And we made this thing we called a Mong Pak. Now, the name is to be, something to be desired. There's a lot of workshopping that can be done there. Yeah. But these little to-go pocket, because Mongolians are very messy. It's greasy.
As a Mongolian person of color?
No. It's just fun. It's of the region. And it's just very easy to eat, but you're still getting noodles, but it's handheld noodles. It's noodles
in a pocket.
In a soft phyllo dough. It's not pita bread, okay? But it's like a phyllo dough pastry-esque thing. It's flaky. And it's you can put all the fixings in there, all the meats and chickens and the mushrooms, and that would be what we would sell specifically.
That sounds like a lot of work.
The Mong Pak. Yeah, but we're doing it. We're going to charge a good amount. Is this
going to be like a food truck thing?
It would be a food truck thing. Yes, it would be.
And you can just drive it right up from your house in Venice into the little Venice food truck. Do they still do that on Fridays? Or no, because of COVID?
They do like at the farmer's market. There's a bunch of food trucks there. Yeah. And that
we could do a pod from the food truck.
Oh,
yes, food truck pods. That's something that needs to be.
Maybe that's the real one.
Yeah,
we pod from different food trucks each week and just get stoned and eat the food in the food truck. I like this.
Also, something that exists. I hate to break it to you. That somebody
does exists.
That. Yeah, no. I think Brandon Schaub does like a.
My kids ruin everything. I swear to God, if I didn't have kids, I would have done all of this first.
Yeah, you'd had so much more time to think. You would have come to this 8 years ago.
Yeah,
you'd have been first to market, Jamie-Lee. That's also another Shark Tank saying. We're hot on the Shark Tank.
What would
have
yours
us
be?
On? Wouldn't it be great if the three of us were the fourth shark?
Yeah.
1 week.
Between the three of us, we have $800,000 to spend on your plastic spoon knife thing. Yeah, we would be the
what does Pajama Pants think? Hold on, Jamie's in the back smoking, but she's almost done. She'll be out.
Like you guys actually haven't bid on anything.
She's putting her kid down.
We Jamie, actually can't afford it.
Jamie, why are you bleeding? Oh, she had to bring her son today because her husband is sick. He's at a retreat. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my life.
Hey, time for another sponsor. This time it's Lucy.
Jamie, can I ask you a question? Would you ever fuck a guy who smokes cigarettes?
No.
Exactly. There you go. Lucy, if you want to fuck Jamie, you gotta get Lucy.
Can you please tell us about Lucy Nicotine, please?
Yes, Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck. They researched and developed for 3 years for this to be made for people, not patients. Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. It also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: cherry ice, citrus, and mint. Their lozenges and gums are PSA and HSA eligible, so you can use your FSA cards to purchase Lucy now.
Yep. It's 2021. Get rid of your ciggies, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. Pajama Pants listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code PAJAMA to get 20% off on all products on your first order, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code PAJAMA at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. This product contains nicotine derived from tobacco, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. So how about that, lawyers?
Lucy.co and use promo code PAJAMA. I went Asian too. I would do dumplings. I love the idea. It seems like fast, bang. Dumplings are so good.
Would you serve them in that little wicker brown little basket?
No, because you gotta find something that's like to go. You give them to go. I think I love the look of the just old school Asian box or the Chinese food box.
The styrofoam.
No, not the styrofoam
paper.
The like paper with the
metal ring that folds over.
And I think that like I remember seeing some like life hack thing where like the whole point of that thing was it was designed where you could unfold it and eat out of it.
Yes. I didn't know that until very recently. And guess what? Still have never done it.
No, I would never.
Never.
No, because how are you going to save the leftovers? You need it.
Fold
intact.
it back up.
Yeah.
Never going to be the same. Work. Never.
You got to make one of those where like the little tab that it slides on top to lock, those always tear for me.
Yeah.
And I can never get them to stay.
Same.
Never.
Especially
like
with
on the
fried rice.
Box?
Send the cereal box. Can we get a smart Chinese man to make a better version of this? A better Chinese lock. Put a fucking finger trap on.
Yeah, right? No problem sticking those fingers together.
Use whatever technology you guys used on the finger trap. The top of the Chinese to-go box.
Let's bring this to fucking Shark Tank.
Yo.
We walk in just hooked on fingers and Jamie's trying to eat fried rice.
Just walk in like
hey, what do you guys think of this?
We're those guys that like who come to pitch but can never break out from the jokey part, Like now our fingers are stuck, but we've got to talk numbers in business. We can't do that transition.
I'm like, we're like, go back to back.
And I'm underneath you with like a nail clipper trying to cut it off.
Yeah, Jamie's rubbing a stick of butter on her. She's like, wait, hold on. We have $3 in sales.
Yeah. Here's Action Bronson.
We're going places today, guys.
Fuck,
I knew it was going to be a fucking pajama pantsy thing. Here's my cleaning lady question. Jamie-Lynn, I've never had, maybe this was just a question so I could say this. I've never had a cleaning person. I've never had anyone clean my place.
Yo, you have nothing. You have nothing. What are you talking about?
She would come dust the TV.
Yo, she would literally just like
she'd walk in, turn around, and walk out.
She'd organize the cash that you have underneath your coffee table. And then she'd just like straighten out the shoes by the door.
You really got my place down.
Put the bowl that's in the like on the counter in the cupboard. And then somebody would time her. She'd be in and out of there in like 70 seconds.
Oh man. But by the way, I used to live like a hoarder. I never had a cleaning person. And even when my place was disgusting ever. What I want to know is, has a cleaning lady ever found anything like disgusting or that you were like embarrassed of?
We're talking dildos. I mean, that's obvious.
No, of course.
Dildos, condoms, and like anything, like porn, like.
No, but I'm sure they have. Do you know what I mean?
Before weed was so cool, you ever a little embarrassed about that?
I one time forgot that I left out like a joint and stuff, and she like cleaned out the ashtray and then like put the joint on like a tissue back on top of the ashtray, like made it nice for me.
Yo, that's flammable.
Yeah.
Right on top of the tissue.
It was that.
No one cares. Yeah, no one cares about the weed, though, you think, right?
No, but I'm saying like 20 years ago, weed was a little more, especially like New York 20 years ago. Like somebody might be like, oh my, some people just see drugs and they have that like religious thing where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like there's still people who think like, oh, my weed is like whatever the fuck they think.
Yeah. You know what? I would just like, I wouldn't want them going through my underwear, sniffing the center of it, sniffing the crotch part. Do they do that?
So you think I have crazy thoughts? That's like insane.
Sometimes I feel like they would look. They'd be looking at the center.
You think your cleaning lady is going through your underwear?
Wouldn't you? If you were my cleaning lady, wouldn't you go straight for my underwear?
No.
Take a look at see how white the whites are.
Let's say this woman's goal in life is to sniff your underwear. It's like have a field day.
Yeah,
let her.
Right.
I wouldn't be walking around outside like, oh man, the cleaning lady's there. What if she's sniffing my underwear? Like, okay.
The most embarrassing part would be like if they go through your dirty undies and they see the little cum stains.
Yeah, I think
you want to make fun of me, but you also know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I think when my cleaning
I was just
lady
thinking how little your cum stains were.
The tiniest.
She's like, you call this cum?
This is not cum.
You call this a load? You
just
fucking pussy?
Just a little kind of like yellowish.
But yours is yellow?
Whitish. You know, when it dries, it gets a little.
You're not healthy, but.
No, that's fine. That's a very healthy. That's a man who has fiber in his diet.
I don't think so.
Or a lot of coffee.
You're eating too much of that green goop your mom makes.
I don't touch the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, that's kind of gross, but it's also the truth. And that's what we're here for.
So wait, you've never had a cleaning lady like find like a vibrator or a
that's what I'm saying. I'm sure she has, but I think I was on that note, for sure. I've had my cleaning lady come change my sheets like the night after we had sex and probably like was obvious type of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's a whole like.
What's Cutter do with those condoms? You guys ever use those in the early days? Did he wrap them up in a tissue?
Yeah, we've had to use them on and off throughout our whole marriage because of kids.
Yeah, what do you do?
Whatever.
What do you do with those?
It's so annoying.
If I was married and using condoms, shoot me in the fucking head. The only reason I'm going to get married is to not use condoms.
Yeah.
So why is he? I would listen.
I think he's too young to get a vasectomy. He's 32, 31.
I don't know
32,
if you're too
32.
young for that. Why is his vas deferens too strong to snip?
No, I just feel like 32 is very young to do that. Like he has a lot of life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You should freeze some jizz.
Why don't you get your vag stuffed? They could do that.
I have an IUD. That's what I have right now. Yeah, I got my vag stuffed before I moved to Texas.
Nice.
Man, I wish I could be the
So now we don't have to use condoms, but before we were. And it was terrible.
We can't make the title Jamie got her vag stuffed.
No, it'll get flagged. YouTube has a whole list of words.
We're not saying
and vag is one.
Oh, dude, you'll be surprised. It's like,
we have a TikTok, guys.
What's our TikTok?
I think it's Pajama Pants Podcast. Gabby created it. We're gonna be. I think we have one follower right now. It's Christina P. Because I sent it to her. But people are hearing this, and they're gonna fucking
get in on the ground floor on our TikTok, guys.
How many TikToks have we put up? Me neither.
I think we put up a second one. I think we put up 2 so far.
I don't have TikTok actually.
I just got one. I haven't put anything on there. Pajama Pants. Let me just take a look here.
Pajama Pants Podcast. Oh wow, there was go back. There was a thing that we didn't put up. There was a podcast thing from Pajama Pants that we didn't put up.
Oh, it's a clip from Joey Diaz. It's got 661.
Who put it out? Oh, pod clips.
That's a clip from Joey Diaz on our show. Remember when our show used to look like this?
Those are the days, man.
Gosh,
we got to all three get back in the studio. We were talking about this earlier. We gotta make enough money on this pod where it pays for us to all be in the same city to shoot them in the studio because man, what's
that number for you, Jamie? Sales talk.
What do you mean? What's the
2 million,
number?
3 million.
To move again?
Come back.
She's not moving.
I can't move again.
Would you ever come back to California?
Yeah, not for a while.
When Cutter gets snipped? How old is that? Maybe he comes here for the operation and you just stay.
I don't know. I really don't want to move back right now at all.
Your house isn't even done.
Yeah. I don't even,
You haven't even enjoyed it yet.
I have not felt settled since I've moved. So I would like to feel settled here for a little while. But let's say like I got on a new show and it was in LA and it started to feel like, oh, this is going to be the next 8 or 9 years of my life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I was on the next This Is Us and you're like, okay, this is going to be a thing for me, then I would move back because it wouldn't make sense to do that.
Yeah. And then you put both kids back in school here?
Well, that's the thing. But I would keep my house in Texas. I would probably move back to LA and then, come back to school in LA.
Jesus.
That's the sucky part of having a kid of an actor, man.
Well, I think it's that there's a million different professions that your parents could be, right? Where you end up moving.
For sure. Of course.
Especially fucking last 18 months or whatever. Cass, I'm sorry I cut you off about the TikTok because it just popped in my head. What were you saying? YouTube has a thing where you can't put what?
Well, there's a certain YouTube has like a list of words that if it catches one of these words in your title or in like your description of your video, it'll automatically flag your video and either like demonetize it or just like limit.
We don't want that.
And so when I was making YouTube videos a decade or more ago, that list was, it was a list, but it was much shorter. Now it's like,
forget it.
You think, I mean, for sure, vag, for sure, maybe V space AG. Like there's all the, like any way you can think to get around saying that word.
What's bad about the word vag?
Well, there's nothing worried about it, but YouTube is only worried about selling ads to advertisers, and they want advertisers to feel like they won't get upset by like somehow having their ad placed on a video that says Jamie's vag gets stuffed. Samsung doesn't want. I mean, maybe
we make like $50 an episode from YouTube ads.
Yeah.
I say we just say fuck it on the next one, and we call it Jamie gets her vag stuffed.
Okay,
and we forego any money from.
I would love I'm on board for this experiment. Rob really pays attention to the numbers of the podcast. And so you might understand kind of like we could take a pretty big hit, but for one episode for you to see that, it would be a great experience.
But we could take a hit because it doesn't recommend it to people.
I don't know what exactly it does, but like it makes it so we can't put ads on it. And then B, sometimes they just like limit the amount of people that like, it won't pop up and search it or like related video. You know, when you watch a video and then there's a bunch of related videos, it makes it so those videos don't pop up. And so they in turn get less people clicking on it because it's not on the side of like, what if somebody's watching one of our older videos or the video before this one, and then this video would be it. So, it's just safer to not do that stuff.
What if we say Jamie gets her pussy stuff?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay,
because
we'll do that.
Talking about a cat. Yeah.
There was a TikTok that I wanted to make from last week, but I was like, oh, I have to ask Jamie first to see if Jamie was okay with it. But I was also thinking like anything we said on here, you'd be all right with. But you were like, I'll be a fucking slut for a boat. Like I will. Yeah. You were like, I'll fucking get naked. I'll fucking show my titties. I'll do that. And
I did not say that.
I'll spread my lips.
Yeah, I'll stuff this van. Jamie, I don't. You didn't say that word for word, but you said like
not exactly.
I'll go topless. Like I'll do that. I'm saying like show my tits, but yeah, you said like I'm a boat slut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, I stand by that.
So we could make that the TikTok for next week.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
You also said you would
anything anymore.
You also said you would wear PJ panties.
Yes, I did.
That's what you said. You said you would be topless in PJ panties on the boat and let people.
Okay, say we for okay.
Things got crazy. Things always get crazy in like the last 5 minutes of this pod.
Let's just say, for example, we could like put out a piece of merch that were panties. Okay, how many pre-orders would we have to get for sure to guarantee that you would model them, or would you just model them for free for nothing? Is there a goal? Can we turn this into like a thing?
I want 400 pre-orders.
400 people to buy PJ panties, and then you would model your underwear.
Yes.
Okay, let me offer this up. Just like I'm willing to forego the money for this episode.
Yeah, and it's not like we're donating it to charity or anything. We're just trying to see if we can say vag in the title.
Here's what I'm saying. So Jamie wants to do 400. The three of us split everything 3 ways. So that's about 133 each. So I'm willing to give up my 133, the money of mine. You're willing to give up yours, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Right. So we really only need to sell about 134. We need to pre-order about 134 pair of panties because you'll get all the money.
It's not about the money. It's like the eyes and the hands that have like the amount of panties that are out there. I want it to catch on.
So when you're getting naked, it's the eyes and the hands.
Exactly. So when we have 400 panties out there and one person for each panty going, oh, I want those, then it spreads like wildfire. Dude, you understand? I'm a businesswoman. This is why I should be a shark.
But here's the problem, right? As a businesswoman, you would say, well, I want that out there because of maybe the advertising, people recognizing it, but nobody's going to see the panties because you wear them under your pants.
Yes, they will. I'm going to get the first wave going and then I model them and then we really get it out there, hopefully.
How would you model them? Is there a pose like that? Front and back? Okay.
Like that.
Would you ever do a hand bra thing?
Oh, that's so cheesy. The hand bra thing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'd
I don't get horny from that.
No.
I'd probably wear my pajama pants hoodie and then kind of pick it up a little bit so you can see the underwear.
Oh, damn. She is a slut, bro. Fucking slut. Damn, Jamie. She's in New York. It's fucking 10 o'clock right over there. She's slutting it. Oh,
wow.
Oh God.
Hike up that hoodie a little more. Show your world to me.
Whoa. I've got a stack of Maxim magazines in here.
Yeah.
Your face all
there's going to be a stain in fucking Cassim's underwear tonight,
None
baby.
Of these pages are going to open.
Good thing Cassim doesn't have a cleaning lady or a girlfriend right now because his underwear are going to be a mess tonight.
Oh, man.
All right.
This is what happens when the two of you are not dating anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, please. We're dating each other.
should we move on, Jamie-Lynn?
Yes.
That's enough.
All right.
Time for a quick sponsored ad break.
Yeah, guys, Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about.
That's right, because
no, fight over it.
Come on, Jamie. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Go ahead, Jamie-Lynn, tell them.
Yeah, and you want to know why you might need it? Because you might not know that your ex might be still using your Netflix. One time, this woman found out that after she downloaded Truebill, because it finds and cancels subscriptions with just a tap.
Yeah, if you're like me, you have I don't know, 10 different subscriptions to different things.
You definitely have more than that.
I probably have more, but like there's a couple that I don't use, right? And I like always remind myself like, oh, you got to cancel that. You got to cancel that. Everything is subscription based now. Everything, even the stuff that we are having on as sponsors on the pod, subscription based. Do yourself a favor, clean it up, get it organized, and maybe save yourself some money. Okay. So don't fall for the subscription scams.
And also companies sometimes make it really difficult to cancel your stuff.
Look, don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today.
Truebill will handle that for you. They have a concierge that will cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to deal with it.
Great.
Yeah, this is another one of those things that we're connecting with that actually will save you money in the long run.
That's right. So don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/pajama. Go right now, truebill.com/pajama. It could save you hundreds a year. Truebill.com/pajama.
And support the people that support the show.
Go save some money.
Now back to the pod.
Sometimes you hear about like a teacher got in trouble for like sleeping with a student or like doing something inappropriate. Was there ever any teacher in your, I want to know about our schools too, but was there any ever teacher in your kid's school who like, there were any questions raised about, like, we saw this guy doing this thing?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
In your school there was?
Yes.
Yes.
Middle school and high school. Yes. High school, I had a history teacher who was like the popular history teacher, younger guy who was in his early 30s.
Fuck machine.
So everyone wanted to take his class. He was very funny, sarcastic. He was like the Obama of the, teachers. Everyone, oh man, I want that guy. I want to have a beer with that guy. And we found out after we graduated that he was dating and sleeping with like one of the cheerleaders, one of the head cheerleaders. This cheerleader, I am almost positive, was dating a guy who was on the football team who became paralyzed during his senior season.
And so after he became paralyzed, you started dating the teacher?
I don't have it was definitely after. I don't know
if
they were.
It was one of those like crying after, like, oh, come here, let me just.
What's the sound of? I love that.
That's what happened.
So that was in high school. Yeah. And there was some big old scandal about it, and the teacher was married. He had a kid and all this. Now, a little younger, when I was in 7th grade, I went to what was called an intermediate school. We were the Sequoia Indians, which I don't think you can do anymore. It was an intermediate school. It had 7th and 8th grade only. Okay. When I was in 7th grade, we had a PE teacher. And I remember hearing like from the 8th graders, like, yeah, watch out for that guy. He's like, he likes to watch you guys change. And we're like, oh yeah, whatever, dude. Turns out that guy got in trouble for watching boys change in the locker room for PE. He like lingered a little too long. Some people felt uncomfortable, and it was like a bunch of students came together and like talked to the school about it, and he got fired. Yeah. And that guy watched me change a lot.
See, this is that California shit. In New York, we never had anything.
No,
Nothing.
You never had eyeballs on you?
Nothing ever. They wouldn't even pay attention to us if we tried.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, dress sexy?
It was like, will someone just watch us?
Yeah.
You know, nobody
Hey,
would.
I'm sitting Indian style in my short PE shorts.
Did Jamie-Lynn, so when you were growing up on Long Island, you never heard of anything like, oh, I heard this teacher.
not that I'm remembering.
You got to be careful when you're a teacher now, especially with cameras everywhere, right? Like you can't just be like, I'm going to fucking get wasted tonight. Cause it's like that shit could really, like, all you need is a picture of like a fucking, like, let's say there was a video of your kid's first grade teacher fucking wasted, like throwing up at Mardi Gras.
Well, you know what I feel like Instagram has kind of done for people, like where celebrities, you know, had to be really careful about not being seen or sharing certain things to keep up an image. Now everybody has to do that for their jobs because any boss or, you know, manager could like look up your Instagram and see like crazy shit you're doing and not think you're one who they want to represent their company.
Yeah. Make your Facebook private, guys. And I'm sorry, your
Even
Instagram
if you do,
private,
it's still
and then
out
delete
there.
your Facebook. Well, for sure. But like minimize the damage.
Are there tweets from your past cast that you're like, Jesus Christ, like,
Of course.
Yeah.
insane?
I deleted them all.
And okay, so let's say, think of the worst one. And then if somebody said, hey, you thought you made this disappear, but really I have it, but I have the only copy. It's like a fucking NFT.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll delete it though. Like, how much would you pay for them to delete it so that it didn't get out?
I would get ahead of it.
Okay.
If they were going to go public with it, I'd say, look, I was 25 and I was an idiot online. I did a lot of stupid stuff. I said stuff that I didn't mean. And I obviously don't feel that way anymore, but I accept responsibility. I said this stuff. I apologize to the group or the person that I said the thing about. I'm almost 40 now. I'd like to think I've changed and I'm a better person. Somebody's trying to extort me for some money about it. And I'm not like going to give in to that. So here's what I did.
Yeah.
Or I'd pay the guy $100.
Yeah. Jamie, you never, we'll talk after the show. Jamie, you never had like anything like that, right? Because you're so perfect and sweet.
No, not really. No, I've never said anything really scandalous or done anything. Yeah, no. Sorry.
Yeah, we talked about it, but I remember Jamie was doing like the whole like kids shouldn't smoke, like don't smoke this, that, and then on fucking set of Sopranos, we'd be outside like, what's going on? You know, like that whole
I
bit.
smoked for 1 year of my life. 1 year.
Right. And then I remember like there was one time where she was like, hey, will you go around like the block with me to smoke? I'm like, yeah, why? What is she's like, no, there's people who like take pictures of me from smoking and then it gets back to the campaign.
Well, no, they kicked me out the
guys
first
from
time.
Truth
Which, by the
are
way,
just following her around.
no, rightfully so. I never smoked. I was not a smoker. I did this campaign. And then I went through a really nasty divorce and a lot of stuff. And I picked it up. I started going out for the first time at 25 in the city. I never went out. So everyone smoked. I started smoking. And then a paparazzi caught me and the campaign was like, you can't be in our campaign. And I was like, I get it. I'm sorry. But for a while, like there was paparazzi following me, calling me out that I did this campaign and I was a smoker, which was true, but I wasn't a smoker when I did the campaign. Anyway.
Well, don't ever do a don't eat vagina campaign because next you'll be out there eating.
Weren't we
that
talking
will
about
never happen.
your brain on drugs commercial?
Yeah.
Fried egg. Last night I met the guy who made that commercial's daughter, and just randomly it came up. She's like, we were talking about that commercial. I was like, yeah, my friend Rob loves that commercial. It's the all-time greatest anti-drug commercial, second to the deflated weed chick on the couch. He's like, yeah, my dad directed that whole thing.
Wow.
He's like,
now he does Gordon Ramsay stuff.
You know what he does now? I guess he's like a scientist professor guy, and he is trying to work on a breathalyzer for weed.
Cool guy.
Is
that possible?
Is that cool?
Cool guy, you fucking nerd.
But what is that going to tell you? Like, oh, you're real stoned. Like,
No, it's
somebody's
somebody's driving.
For when you're driving.
Oh, like
you
you're
can tell
too
Jamie's high.
Yeah, are you stoned?
No.
Yo, are you stoned at your parents' house?
What is that even going to tell you?
Well, how did they measure that? People have
make one
different
for alcohol
tolerances.
next?
I asked
No,
the
but
same
people have
question.
different tolerances.
I asked the same question. I'm like, how is like, is it? I don't know how breathalyzers work. It's like blood to alcohol content based on you blowing into a thing. It's measuring. She said it's the same idea. Yeah, that's as far as she went into the science of it.
Okay,
so I
Dad.
don't know. Yeah, her dad sounds kind of like a stickler.
Yeah. No, let's hang out again at your house.
Jeez, he sounds real boring.
Yeah. I got some emails.
Go for
Great.
it.
Oh, I made it when we were talking about teachers. Have you ever made like a teacher cry?
They're gonna say come. Yeah. Oh my.
I feel like yeah.
What?
I've done it too though, but for sure, for sure.
No, there were times where like I took part. Oh no, there was one time where it was all me. But then there were other times where like I took part in making teachers cry. But I remember one time, we had like religious school that like my dad's mom wanted me to go to because she wanted me to like, whatever. I don't know. My family was like, yeah, we don't care about this, but like I went anyway, and it was the biggest joke. Like there was not 1 second in there where it was like, okay, open your book to pay. It was like, nah, like, you know, just we're not doing whatever you say. We're just being fucking assholes in this. And because I think like I went to public school my whole life, but I think this thing you had to like pay for. And I think they like didn't want to kick kids out because people like not a lot of kids were paying for some shit. And the teacher had a a fur coat on like the back of her chair. And I mean, she was like an old lady where you could tell like she bought that like 20 years ago and it was like her pride and joy. Like the one she wore like every day is like brown, ugly thing.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah. And I laid like on, so she had to like do, I don't know, whatever she was doing. And like I grabbed her from the back of her chair and we went outside and I put like my arms through it and laid face first. And then like, I think it was Rex took me by my feet and like pushed me around the hallways of the school. And it just fucking, and it made the fucking jacket like, so, and when she came back, dude, she lost it. Like, cause the hallways of a school are just so dirty anyway. And it's like 6 o'clock at night. Like we're doing this religious school after, and we thought it was like the funniest thing ever. And all the other kids were like, oh my God, it's so crazy. And we were like, yo, this is nothing. Like, because we were nuts back then. And, yeah, but there was other times where like, I remember there was an assistant teacher who came in and I remember like this one kid. So there were 2 doors to the classroom and he told this other kid to like do, and it was funny because this other kid was like a nerd, but he somehow convinced the nerd to like do, it wasn't a nerd, but he was like a loser kind of kid. And he convinced him.
There are levels amongst us. There's different kinds of nerds.
Right. Yeah. But no, he was a loser. You're not a loser. And he, but despite the 37 comic books outside, he's like, he told the kid, he's like, I'm going to have the teacher chase me out the front door. And he's like, when I get her out the front door, when I get her out the front door, you close the front door and stand there. And then I'm going to go in through the back door. I'm going to close that and stand there. And we're going to lock them out for the period. Like, we're not going to let the teacher come in. And I remember that teacher crying. Yeah.
That made a teacher cry?
And well, because the things we were doing on the inside, and like one kid like pulled his pants down and like pushing his stuff against it. It was all like, you know, it was all just fucking.
Does he sound like a bad kid? Takes her headphones off.
Yeah, I feel that makes me sad for these teachers.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you one quick.
We were assholes.
I made one teacher cry one time, and I was just such a piece of shit. But we had a new teacher come to the school, young, probably 23, 4, 5, something like. I don't know how she got the job, but she was so young that she was like attracted to like the kids in her class, you know. Mm-hmm. There was a really cool kid, right? This kid rode like a Harley to school. Good looking kid. His name was Dylan. Nice hair.
Of course, Dylan. Nice face.
Always California. Dylan's, right? Always Dylan's. She like, it was very visible to me and other people because she would always like giggle. And like Dylan wasn't smart. Like when he would answer questions, it was usually wrong, but she was just like happy to hear him talk. And she was like, honestly, when he was speaking, she couldn't stop herself from smiling. And I, for some reason took, you know, I was insecure and I was like, oh, fuck, you know, like give him all the attention. I'm the smart one or whatever was going on with me. But I remember like she would kind of pick on me because I think she picked up on that energy. And that cliche. And so
tale as old as time, man.
I remember she was like getting mad at me, and I was like, you know what? You're not even a good teacher. No one here likes you. Like, I don't even know how you got this job. And I just go off, and she was
You're
like,
so mean.
Sat there.
I remember I did something one time, and Cassim was like, "This is the real Rob." This is the real Cass.
No, this
That
was
is so
me. This was me
mean.
at like 14, 15.
No, this is him
I was
in the
hopped
Porsche.
up on drugs.
This is him in the Porsche. This is Porsche Cass.
This is like cigarette smoking, no parental guidance Cass.
No, this is anytime you're around a guy named Dylan, you just lash out.
Cool. No, Dylan was so cool.
I remember you didn't like Bo at first.
Yeah,
Bo wants to be. Bo wants to be.
I warmed up to Bo. And so I remember feeling really bad. She just sat there and just like cried. And then we still had like the rest of the period left. And we finished the semester. It was like always very awkward. And then next year she's not there.
Did she fail you?
No, I passed. Kill herself?
No, I passed. It's too smart.
Too smart for that.
We don't see her. It's like, oh, wow, where'd she go? I see her at Trader Joe's working there, and I was like, oh, hey, like, you work here now. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, hey, I'm sorry. But I used that opportunity.
A year later.
You're like, did you just put the eggs in the bag first, you fucking idiot?
It's like, I'm like, look, I'm sorry. Could you put that in a paper bag? No,
bread on top, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. So I felt terrible. I felt like maybe I was hitting on some insecurities that she had as like a new teacher and like whatever.
What you think?
Just a little bit. And
you figured it out after all those years, smart guy.
She just probably just kept thinking about like, you know what? That's
so smart.
Yeah. No wonder you didn't fail that class.
I got some emails. You want to hear some?
Woo. Yes.
Yeah.
We got some stuff, and I haven't had a chance to go through these, but we've got the Sparrow people are out.
Sparrows. Yeah. We're saying it like every fucking way. Also, by the way, Jamie,
covering our bases.
Like twice a year, I find myself like yelling at my TV about something, like something gets me that worked up. It happened this week.
Awesome.
I'm a little ashamed, but I'm also
That's
like,
a great tease.
Yeah, I got so fucking angry at 90 Day Fiance. But okay, so what?
Okay. Well, I'll read an email and then we can get into the.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I'm so angry about it. I had to get it out.
No, it's a good tease, and people are gonna stick around. Okay, this one says, "Hey Hitlers, I want to start off by saying I love listening to you all be so authentically yourselves. Huge mommy here, and fell in love with Rob and Jamie on YMH, which led me here. I owe you a thank you for all the laughs during these shit times. In regards to Sparrow, have to say that I loved it because I got it at the mall as a kid, and as an adult, I know it's hard garbage, but I would still eat it just for nostalgia feels." I also have to note that I've never related to someone more than when Rob described his listening to Olivia songs, Olivia Rodrigo, and feeling them. I'm 35 and was embarrassed before hearing someone else say that they felt the same. Please tell him there are women out there who hate going places, don't want kids, and who haven't sucked dick for coke but are still sober. Whoa. Love you guys, Becky. P.S. Fuck Philip.
That's been a trend lately. People have kind of been shitting on Philip.
I'm telling you, we need guys like Philip.
Oh, listen,
he awakens the listener base.
Yeah, I like it.
I was a fan of Philip from day one.
Yeah.
Philip, if you're old Philip, if you're still out there, send us some more critiques of the show.
What else should Jamie not be eating candy? You have a fucking problem with that,
doing?
Philip?
What are you doing?
It's Bo's Honey Nut Cheerios from earlier.
Oh my God, you're living like a home.
How much did you smoke before this podcast?
Jamie's in magazines for like $3 million home, and then she has like a dirty bowl with 3 Cheerios
this
in it.
Is the reality.
With her hand out in a closet. Jesus Christ, Jamie-Lee, send help. She looks like one of those commercials, like for 25 cents a day, you could help a Jamie-Lee. She only has 3 Cheerios. Jesus, Jamie. We love you, Jamie. If love can.
I love you guys.
If love can feed.
God bless you. This one's subject, Sparrows, more like shit borrows.
Bang.
Hey, gang, I can say with the utmost certainty as an Italian, my last name is Marcella, and people think the joke of being called Chicken Marsala is funny. I definitely do not like Sbarro and would rather eat the pizza that has been sitting out all day on display at one of the many down the shore boardwalk pizzerias. Rob and Jamie have to know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Love the podcast and still love you, Jamie, but Rob is right. You definitely associate it with a childhood memory. I promise you, your happy memories would surely come crashing down if you got a taste of shit Barrows today. Steph.
I wish my last name was Milanese. That's a fire last name. This guy's last name is Marsala. Chicken Marsala is all right.
Her last name.
Oh,
yeah.
her last name?
Yeah.
But chicken Marsala is okay. Chicken Milanese is the king of food to me. Forget about
enough
Italian
for you to
food.
change your last name to it, huh?
I would forego Rob Milanese. Ooh,
Great name.
Fire.
Great stage name.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna get us a couple more, but I just want to I want to hear the story about 90 Day Fiance.
Do you really?
Absolutely do. I felt it's been a while since we've checked in, and those of you that are just new to the podcast, Rob is our resident reality TV guru. He consumes all of the reality television that we dare not watch, and then he gives us the highlights, the best little bits of it, you know. And that's how we found out about Big Ed.
Oh yeah, we got to make that a TikTok.
Our number one view.
Gabby, that's the next TikTok. Once we get some people hopping on from this episode, and that TikTok is going to be amazing. So there's a guy who has a wife and 2 kids in America, and he's like, why won't you? He's not a smart guy, and he's like, why won't you come to South Africa and trying to get them over there? And he's like, I'll do this, I'll do that. And the woman's like, listen, you're a shit husband, you're not a dope guy at anything. Why would I come there? And he can't come to America, of course, because he has some fucking shady history that he's like, oh, I don't know, of course. So now they show up right after every Corona, hard, life is so hard. And finally they're getting on a plane to go see him. He picks them up from the airport. He's like, first thing we're gonna do is go food shopping. Take some food shopping. They get to the thing. It's like, boop, 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 $270. And he's like, babe, yeah, babe. He's like, I only got 200. And the way he really does it is kind of can you believe I have 200? This is me. I'm fucking pulling 80% of the weight here.
Right.
Look at this.
I'll cover most of it.
Yeah, right. And she's like, are you fucking serious? You don't have, it's embarrassing. The camera's there, whatever. Not a big deal. I get it. So sometimes you can't, that part is fine. Cut to fucking 3 days later, this moron takes the wife and the 2 kids to a Christmas center where you go and just buy Christmas, giant Santa Clauses and this kind of thing. The guy takes them in and he's telling the kid, he's like, buy whatever you want, my boy. And the kid is buying all the stupid shit. He's like a little kid, of course. So he's like, oh, look, I like this. I like this. The guy starts taking gold boas off of things and putting them around his neck. He's like, should we get this, my boy? And the kid's like, yeah. He throws it in the shopping cart, all this stuff. He spends $700 at a Christmas store on Christmas decorations and I'm yelling at the TV. I'm like, you fucking more listen, here's the deal. Let's say you're going to spend $700 because he says it's I want to make the kid happy. I want him to remember. So buy the kid a fucking $200 amazing gift.
Right.
Then that the kid will love and do. He's literally spending, so there's a less money fake Christmas tree and then the nicest, most expensive Christmas tree. And he's like, this is the one we're going to get, just trying to show the kid, look at this, we're going to get this. This guy couldn't afford eggs 3 days ago. And now he's like, oh, look, we're going to get this Christmas tree. It was the dumbest shit. And then the wife is tugging at his fucking jacket. What are you doing? Why are you? And he's like, no, it's Christmas. We're in the spirit. I'm like, it was one of the dumbest thing I had ever watched. Buy the kid a fucking, he could have bought the kid PlayStation 7, whatever's going on these days. Get the, what does that look? What does that look?
PlayStation 7.
What is it?
Everyone, 8? We're on 5.
Sorry.
It's right here.
I know that because I hear from Bo all the time.
Does he really want one bad?
He has one, I think. No. Oh no, he has a Switch.
Xbox?
Yes, he wants a PlayStation.
How dumb do you have to be like, what goes through somebody's brain when they're like, I don't have money for food. Literally, I'm going to go buy this giant fucking fake Christmas. And literally it's like, this is going to be up for 5 days in the house. And then we're going to take it all down and put it in a fucking closet for 3. And by the way, it's going to take up a fucking ton of space for another 360 days.
These people are frustrating because it's no wonder why they don't have any money, because they don't know how to manage it. They will buy the thing that they don't need. And then the thing that they don't need is also way too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they won't know, like, yeah, there's a reason why that guy couldn't buy the groceries, because he does things like buy the expensive tree, and he does that version over and over again. I
want the psyche. I want to know, like, what's going through your brain at this moment. Like, why not? You could get this. And like the whole thing of like, he's like, well, because I want to make the kid happy.
Yeah.
But you could make the kid happy for the whole year. Buy him something fucking incredible. Like, what a dumb. I was so angry. I was laying in my bed. I'm like, you fucking idiot. Like, my neighbors are like, oh, he's at it again.
Yeah.
As soon as I got to Long Island, my mom had her, TLC on. Yeah. And there was a show called Darcy and Stacy.
Yeah, hell yeah. They're from.
And she's like, Rob knows them. Rob will know them.
Morons.
I was like, what is this show, Mom?
Yeah. They should call it Moron and Moron.
I hate to interrupt, but Philip
is back.
Sent us an email.
Wow. Oh my God.
Let's go, Philly boy.
Amazing.
And it's not just one.
Holy shit.
The Philip, the one we were just talking about.
Oh, right. I might not like him after this. This looks wordy.
First of all, he's up the font size. We've got a much bigger font size here.
He's old. It was probably a mistake.
He's learning. He is learning. Okay. This is from Philip. Okay. If you guys don't know who Philip is, a few episodes ago, Philip sent us an email where he really gave his strong opinions.
He likes the show, but
big
he had
fan. He's
opinions
older. Yep. He's an older man.
He had to say that a couple of times to make sure we knew.
Right.
Well,
so,
because it wasn't obvious. And let me tell you something right off the bat. Philip's fucking email address at AOL.com. All right. Joke's on you, Philly. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Come on.
Well, hello again, my PJ friends. First off, I have to give you much thanks.
Oh, well, maybe we changed his life.
Not bad, right? So far, so good. Why? Because I was watching your podcast in the evening after having a stressful day.
3 p.m.
And when you read my long email, seeing your reactions and facial expressions too, for some reason, there's a big paragraph.
Old guy. We know the deal.
Seeing your reactions and facial expressions to some of the things I said made me laugh so hard. I really needed to laugh that Tuesday evening. So it was actually very therapeutic. So again, thank you for that. Really. Isn't that nice?
Wow. Yeah. Philip.
Isn't that nice?
It's coming to show some love.
A couple of things.
Yes.
First, I noticed Rob was kind of making fun of my name, enunciating Philip a couple of times. And don't get me wrong, I thought it was funny as hell. I have a great sense of humor.
I have a great sense of space, humor. line, humor.
I think what he did was
that's important.
I think he typed this in something else and copied and pasted it here. This is kind of what happens.
Oh, really? See, I thought he did the old man thing where he clicked like a poetry setting in the corner.
He did it in haiku format.
Yeah, that's what's going on here. If you look at it,
I have a great sense of humor. I was literally laughing out loud. Having said that, it's kind of a fluke that I signed the letter that way, Philip, because everyone calls me Phil. So you can just call me Phil from Long Island.
Awesome.
Whoa, that great pod material, Phil.
But you know what? Since you guys and Jamie made me laugh so much, call me whatever you like. Rob, I think you misinterpreted my comments because at one point you said, is this guy even a fan of the pod? Well, of course I am, damn it. I've watched every one of them from the get-go. But having said that, I made comments or questioned certain things based on what I hear from the three of you.
Wait, Cass, can you do the space line every time there is? Because I think it's so funny, Jamie.
It's going to fuck me up. I can barely read as it is.
Send to Gabby a picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, there's there's a sentence, and then in the middle of the next sentence, it's like 2 spaces down.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting a new paragraph every 2 sentences. And
Yeah.
it's got to be because he copy pasted. Okay.
It's haiku Philip.
Okay.
Based on what I hear from the three of you, don't you think it would be dull if you just got sugary, sweet, ass-kissing emails like, "Oh, you're great. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing, blah, 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 blah."
I actually really do. Yeah.
If so, then fine. I'll remind you, I'm probably much older than your average fan. My interest in watching the podcast is because I'm a Sopranos fan. Having seen the whole series 2 or 3 times, and I enjoy rewatching favorite moments on YouTube. To me, as a Sopranos fan, I find it interesting seeing Rob and Jamie, having watched them on the screen from when they were kids and seeing them grown up on the show. And now, 20 years later, how you are in real life, talking about your everyday experiences. And Cass, you're great at what you do too, of course. I tip my hat to you, Jamie, after hearing how you had to deal with your son getting sick, vomiting on the carpet. No one knows what it's like to be a parent unless you are one.
Oh, I've got a follow-up to that, by the way. Continue.
Great. Save it. Can I ask? I mean, for after. Don't forget it. I meant, don't forget.
Damn, Philip gets you fired up, son. Oh, sorry, Phil.
I'm being kind of Phil right now. Can I ask one Sopranos question?
Sure.
Yes.
Of course, Phil.
Both of your characters had intimate scenes with love interests on the show, and I wonder what it was like for you shooting those scenes.
This guy said he's listened and seen every episode. We answered this question, Phil.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Because I remember exactly my answer.
As I wonder what it was like for you shooting those scenes as you were both young actors.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding Cass giving Rob the comic, Cass, if you and Rob are such close friends, then why wouldn't you know that he would have zero interest in receiving the comic as a gift?
Love Phil, man.
Phil, by the way, he has comics. He had comics as a kid.
And I got rid of them.
No, you didn't. You have them. You have them in storage. Cass, I have a UFO commenter question. Do you believe there are life forms from other planets making appearances here on Earth? I mean, if we just take the term literally, flying objects that are unidentified, then okay, I could see that happening. But no effing way are there Martians or creatures from another planet. Do you guys want to answer the question about the shooting intimate scenes as young actors?
Yeah, I think what I said last time was there were different sex scenes for me were different depending on the scene that was going on, the girl who you did it with. Like there were some that were very technical, and the girl who you do it with, there might be like
what's technical mean?
Awkward. Like, okay, right when the camera gets here, we're going to want you to change positions, and then where some it's just like you're making out on the bed. Like,
sure.
And then the phone rings and you this, but some are like, right when you feel the camera here, I want you to do this and this. So, it's a little more like you're not really in the moment.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mind saying it, I guess, but when I would do, there were certain girls that I would do scenes with, and it was very like, okay, like here's what you there, it was just like, it was a little awkward at first or whatever. And then it's just kind of like, whatever, we're here, we're doing this.
Yeah.
But when I did, sex scenes with Danya, who is now on Sweet Tooth, and she just did the Sopranos, Talking Sopranos podcast. It was nice.
Who's she on Sweet Tooth?
She is like the woman who has the little girl, and she's like waiting out in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great way to describe her character, by the way.
No,
that's what it said in the script. Woman with kid.
That was the breakdown for the audition.
Yes. She's like, that's me.
She's at the zoo. She's a woman at the zoo with the pig girl.
Right. I didn't want to say that because, it's tender times, but pig girl, Cass? Huh?
Yeah,
pig girl?
Pig girl. Jamie?
Jesus.
Do you have anything you want to add to that?
I didn't really
have. Stoned out of your gourd.
Why do you guys keep saying that?
I'm not. What do you mean, you guys? We're not one guy.
What do you mean, you?
Or you mean him and Phil?
Dude, it's me and check out me and Philip's new podcast where we review this podcast.
Cass and Phil.
Filling up on Cass.
I didn't really have a lot of sex stuff. I only had the scene where I lost my virginity, right? I can't remember. I don't know. I made out with Jackie Jr.
Who's also been on the pod.
Shout out to Jason Serbone.
Yeah,
shout out Jason Serbone.
I don't think I really had too much sexy time, especially as the show got further in. I got boring.
It was in other shows you did.
I was just thinking, when you answered this, we might have answered about Entourage.
Yes.
Entourage.
Entourage.
Because I think you had sex scenes in Entourage, right?
Not a sex scene, but like a post-coital. Wasn't the next morning?
Scene, like you gave a blowjob?
No, you don't see it, but they talk about the fact that I had given him a hand job on the plane.
Oh, it's not Buffalo.
But we don't do it. We talk about it, but there was never any like footage of us hooking up or doing that.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I always knew that show was missing something. There's a little bit more to the
I feel
There
like
goes
on
our
that show,
Entourage rewatch pod.
you kind of got like lumped into like either you were like a Sloan, do you know what I mean? Like a girl that like one of them wanted to date, or like the chick that like will show her boobies, Emmanuel.
That chick is all time hot.
Oh my gosh, she's the most stunning human.
The hottest, like she's one of the women who I met where like the first time she locked eyes with me, she's like, oh, this guy's in love with me.
She's universal.
I think she gets
hot.
that all the time.
I know, but like I was just like, oh,
she's
my
also
God.
The greatest human ever.
Beauty is subjective, but like not in her case.
Not an ounce of her
like
outside beauty has
objective.
been.
If there was an instant replay of me meeting her, they would just do it in slow motion and show my knees. You know, just like wobble, 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 like get like real sports announcers to fucking announce.
She's the best.
Oh, she's the hottest. And like, there's been times where I wasn't expecting to see her. Like when I'm like, sometimes people are like, oh, Emmanuel's going to be there. I'm like, oh, okay, I could psych myself up. But then there's times where I didn't know she was going to be somewhere. And it's just like how we're in this room right now. And I turn around and I'd walk into a room and she was there. And it was like, your brain is like, like you don't, it's like when the fucking smoke alarm starts going off and you're just like, I don't even know.
Oh.
And I remember Jamie was like, oh, you two would be great together. I was like, no, she's too hot. I couldn't deal. Deal with her.
Do you think she knows that she has that effect on men?
Yeah. She was on Entourage as like the sex symbol.
Yes. I think she like, understands that people appreciate her beauty, but like she is so freaking cool. She's like, she doesn't judge it. She doesn't get high off of it. She's just like, she understands it. How does a
person end up being so well balanced like that?
She's just
doesn't
awesome.
sound normal. No,
she's just awesome.
Nothing's
wrong with her. Nothing is wrong with her.
Well, we'll figure it out. Look, there's a little bit more to this email. In regards to the UFO question, I don't know. I have no idea if I would like to think that there's some aliens walking around that might just look just like us. Jamie asked for feedback, and we'll talk more about that on my podcast coming out, the new episode coming out very soon. Jamie asked for feedback from Pajama Nation. I just came up with that, of how we feel about you getting up early to do the pod. Well, if you hadn't mentioned it, it was 7 a.m. I wouldn't have noticed any difference, but since you mentioned it, Cass seemed a bit tired. Rob seemed the same. And Jamie-Lynn, you looked amazing, really. Love and best wishes, Phil from Long Island.
I feel like we should get an email every week from Phil.
I would love one.
Look, he sent us 2 more as addendums. He titled as addendums, but I don't know.
Let's see if they're really short, we could read them now to end the pod. But if not, we could do next week.
This one's short. This is the next email he sent. Oh, sorry. Forgot to mention this in my last email. Cass, I'm so glad you mentioned The Talented Mr. Ripley, one of my all-time favorite movies. Yes, I know the topic was best vacation spots, and I couldn't agree with you more on the beauty of those Italian location spots. But I think it's a great movie too, with amazing acting from Damon, Paltrow, Jude Law, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Whoa, another Philip, LOL.
Wow, we could have done without this email. Phil.
But he nails the character, as do all the rest of the cast. Best Phil. There's also one more email.
Wow. This
save
one
it for next week.
Totally agree, Philip. We got to save it. We got to save it. God, he's becoming my favorite.
By the way, can we mention back to normal size font and normal spacing on this email?
This was sent from his iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go, Phil.
He couldn't wait till he got home or to a computer. He had to send that one.
Right.
He probably on the subway.
Yeah. He stopped walking to send it. Incredible. Let's just see how long the next one is.
Okay.
If it's one line, we should read it now.
Oh, look. All right.
Because we're kind of on the thing.
It's a double.
Oh, what a shock.
He doubled
old
up.
Man sends email twice. That's going to be the headline somewhere.
He's so old. He's so cliche old man. And that's how I know this is a real guy.
Yeah, I love it. If this is an actor, great actor, by the way. He's really believable.
Really committed.
Bill from Long Island, you are a loved member of this community. And we thank you for your emails. Jamie, I see by your looking down and away, it is time to wrap up the pod. So we shall do.
You've got to tell
me. When I'm tired, I pick at my cuticles.
No, it's late.
You know when the pod ends? When Jamie's out of Cheerios. That's what they say, guys.
I want to thank you, Jamie.
That's been a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying up because you're in a whole other time zone and you have to wait for Cass to get off work. And so I appreciate it. And I'm so glad. And we're going to let you go right now. And if you guys want to send us emails like our buddy Philip here, askpajamapants@gmail.com. Rob mentioned the subreddit earlier, r/Pajama Pants Podcast. And we're on Instagram. We're closing in on 16,000 Instagram followers. So follow us on there. Jamie's on Instagram. We're on Twitter.
I'm always impressed by our numbers whenever
we're doing great.
It's the same as last week. And you're like, well, it's like when people say, like, how old are your kids? And you're like, oh, they're 3. Wow. So we have 7 followers. Wow.
If you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. That way you know when our videos are going live. We have 30,000 something of you on there too, and we appreciate that. Rob is off the grid, so do not try to contact him unless it's through our Instagram.
And I love doing this pod because it's the only time, in the last couple of weeks I get to spend with you guys. It's real nice.
Love you, buddy.
I love the vibes when we're together or semi together.
I love the 4 of us 3 and Phil.
Yeah,
together.
Mm-hmm. I'm on Long Island. I could have had him on.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
Jay, you gonna get some Sabaros?
No,
it's garbage.
I had some town bagel though. The bagels here are the best.
Oh hell yeah! All right, well,
bagel with tuna salad, bomb. No celery in the tuna salad, just a bagel with tuna mayo.
Save it for our food segment that we're doing, or my new podcast I'm doing about my favorite foods.
I just don't want to end the pod, man.
I know we got to, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.